There is only two economic systems, one that make your life expensive, causing inflation to goes up every year, and one that make your life affordable where there is no inflation. These two economic systems are inflationary economy and deflationary economy. And these two economic systems is based upon how well the government of a country manage their budget spending. Now, if the government spend more than what they collected in taxes, not only will they create a deficit, but also an inflationary economy. But if the government is able to spend less than what they collected in taxes, not only will they create a surplus, but also a deflationary economy. Let's look at the philosophy behind these two economic systems and the mindset that caused the government to create either of them. The philosophy behind these two economic systems is liberalism. What is liberalism? Liberalism is a moral philosophy that centers on individual rights, liberty without any approval of the government, and where everybody is equal before the law. Liberalism is a reason for capitalism. Without liberalism, there would be no capitalism. What is capitalism? Capitalism is where an individual have the right to own capital, for example, land, house, car, etc. Liberalism is also divided into two ideologies responsible for creating these two economic systems. These two ideologies are social or progressive liberalism and classical liberalism. Social or progressive liberalism, otherwise known as liberal. This type of political and economic ideology, if it is used in governing a country, will produce an inflationary economy because these people believe that the government should watch over the economic process to protect individual freedom with social justice to ensure we have equal opportunity and social safety net for the vulnerable in the society. Now, from an economic perspective, they believe the government should set the interest rate. Two, they believe the government should set the price for labor, minimum wage. Three, they believe the government should print or borrow money to provide liquidity to the market. They believe the government should provide social program, example, free health care, social housing, natural insurance, etc. Five, they believe government should create job by providing capital expenditure to the government for government program. And six, they also believe government should have the freedom whether or not to go to war. Now, because in this ideology, the politicians believe the government should intervene in the market and provide funding for the different social programs, the budget spending will increase and create a deficit each year. And because the budget spending increase, whether by printing or borrowing money, the money supply will also increase, which will lead to an inflationary economy where the purchasing power of the dollar will goes down in value each year. Classical liberal, otherwise known as libertarian. This type of political and economic ideology, if used in governing a country, will produce a deflationary economy because these people believe that liberty is the primary political value and the government should only act to prevent harm to others. So they believe they will emphasize individual liberty, limited government, the rule of law, and free market capitalism laissez-faire. Now, from an economic perspective, they believe the national currency of the country should back by a gold standard. They believe there should be no central bank. The market should be the one responsible for setting the interest rate. Three, they believe the government should not set the price for labor because they believe the minimum wage destroy micro and small businesses and price young people under 18 out of the labor market. They also believe there should be no government program. because private citizens and organization, example the church, are more effective in taking care of the vulnerable than the government without creating inflation. 5. They believe the only taxes the government should be able to collect is a low consumption tax, and they should only spend what they collected in taxes. And 6, they also believe there is an emergency where the country is threatened by another country. The government should allow the people or the representatives to vote to decide whether or not to go to war. And if they agree to go to war, the government should raise taxes to fund the expenditure of the war. Now, because the government is limited to what they can do economically, this will lead to a deflationary economy where the money supply will decrease, creating a budget surplus and an increase in the purchasing power of the dollar.